Everybody, how you doing? My name is Chris. This is the Wobble Show, of course, but um, today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my personal life and sort of what goes on behind the scenes. And I know with my 12 subscribers, that's not much, and my peak of 50 views is not much, but some recent news that you guys have been seeing me posting videos about. The Tate brothers have been arrested, and it's such a it's such a terrible event. It's such a huge injustice to righteousness, the free American country, democracy as a whole, and truth, as well as many other things. And I think regardless of our personal beliefs, I consider the Tate brothers very very relatable, very relatable as a man, very relatable as a man. And I think the challenges that they experience in life are sort of like challenges that the everyday man experiences in life. And definitely I owed a lot of credit to them for sort of really for all the informative videos that they've done over the years, really giving me some insight into some deeper things about life that I don't know too well, maybe yet or maybe never, just as someone that has a lot less experience. So it's really a shame that these men that I really I watched over the years, you know, get stuck in a jail in Miami. So I'm hoping with this video I can maybe catch some of the flack. I think the best way to really take down a machine like YouTube and Google that's always pushing this a lot of left, not, it's pushing a lot of it's pushing a lot of biases. I think it's very obvious which side it's biased towards, and the sides that it's biased towards is not the most conducive towards what's best in society. And it might possibly, I don't think it's going to lead to the demise of Western civilization, because it seems like the U.S. is going to be still intact, but unfortunately Europe, it seems like it doesn't look too good in Europe. But the best way to really, I think, overload, actually I think I said it right there, the best way to really counter the system is to really overload the system. And if the system wants to push out bias, I think I'm gonna try to give the system more bias to push out. So I guess we're yeah, I guess my background is my background in the past. I used to train to be a pro gamer when I was a kid. I started when I was 12. I played this game called League of Legends, a small, now, well, back then it was like sort of like a small time free to play game, but soon, actually, to be honest, it was kind of, it was actually pretty big when I first started back in like 2016, yeah, early 2016. And I spent a lot of my hours and dedication trying to go pro towards that game. And definitely always a dream, I think, for anyone out there to like have their career or the way they make a living be like something fun, like playing games. And I think any sort of very high achieving individual, any person with that sort of personality type, really takes a lot of inspiration and knack from really trying to improve themselves and being skilled at like maybe their craft or their genre or whatever field they're in, and making money from it as well. So that was very appealing to me. Um, and I guess sort of in the past, just growing up as a kid, um, well, I guess mostly the most notable thing about me from when I was a kid was trying to go pro in League of Legends. I eventually, like present day, I have a lot more skills than I did before, but I sort of gave up and peaked sort of like as a very average player. I never really made it to the amateur or the pro scene or even the collegiate scene. I, um, I did work at a collegiate scene, but just sort of as an administrator. So sort of a lot of the dedication that I put in go didn't go towards much of anything. Besides that, nothing too special or different about me as a kid. Just sort of a regular kid. Yeah, nothing too notable or special. But I think what's sort of interesting now is I think my life is sort of a lot different over the last couple of years. Sort of like in my town, I'm sort of like a small town, not here, but like a small town. Like I'm not sure if celebrity is the right word, but there's a lot of people in the town that sort of know me or sort of watch about what I do and how that moves. And sometimes it's not the people that I necessarily want to be watching, but sometimes that's how the sort of that's sort of how the cookie crumbles or how that happens. But yeah, I have over the years I've actually recently over the last couple of years I've gotten some more sort of like I guess admirers or fans over the years. I have a lot of a good amount of women that keep up to date with me often. A lot of a lot of different people that I can't say too much about, and unfortunately I have a lot of law enforcement watching my page and keeping up to date, probably because I called them dogs once, and sort of I think that was the only insult, but yeah, there's actually a random well, that's sort of a long story, but there's some cop out there that thinks I'm some sort of drug dealer. So basically, and besides calling the cop dogs, there's sort of a lot of cops sort of watching me and trying to make sure trying to get me in jail or something. I'm like on some sort of county list, and there's like cops following me. There's cops telling me every now and then from like different counties that I go to for work, or like sometimes like the marshal came to check on me a couple of times. So I'm on like some sort of list with the cops out there. So that's just sort of a thing that I'm getting used to. And back to the Tate brothers. I started watching their content at about 2022. I had a sort of mentor. He was like psychology mentor. I call him my mentor, but really he's like this psychology influencer on YouTube that I watched, and I picked up a lot of psychological tips and tricks. And he mentioned that Andrew Tate was growing big in 2022, so I decided to go check out who this Andrew Tate was. My mentor, or this person I consider my mentor, is someone that I have a lot of respect for. So I thought if he said Andrew Tate is an interesting person to watch, I'll go check him out. So I think the first video I watched was like an interview Andrew did with someone in England. It was like some English podcast with some sort of YouTubers, like maybe it wasn't KSI, but it was like someone, maybe someone in that group. And after that, that was actually the year that Andrew Tate blew up, or Andrew and Tristan blew up, and that was also the year that like I was going through like probably like a very tough heartbreak. It was like my first big one. So yeah, I was down for a bit, so I had time when I found the Tate Brothers to really watch like all the content A to Z, old content all the way up to the current time period of 2022. So I started watching the Tate Brothers for a bit. I saw sort of the content, and I knew their story like pretty well. I think everything that people say about their history and their background is true. I think the business that they did, that is a true story. I think some of the other stories is like embellishment. They try to use their past or career to really throw things like human trafficking and rape in there, and that's really not the case. If anyone's ever watched the Andrew Tate or Tristan Tate vlog, you can tell that they're very charming guys and they do very well with the ladies. So it's very natural for them to be hanging around with women. I can't say that's trafficking because it happens almost like very often in Tate Confidentials. You see, which is the Andrew and Tristan Tate vlogs. You see like a girl there, and yeah, it's a very nice. She seems very comfortable in the experience. If she was being human trafficked, I feel like she would be less comfortable and less talkative, or something like that. But yeah, just watch from what I watched, like all of Andrew and Tristan Tate's vlogs, besides the most recent ones, like their oldest vlogs back in 2017, all the way to 2022. I've consumed probably about 200 to 3, which is about like maybe like 300 hours of watch time, and maybe I watched some of their videos twice, maybe like 360 hours of watch time, or maybe 400 or 5. Maybe I'm probably underestimating the amount of videos I watch, but it's yeah, I watched almost all their content, and if there's someone out there that thinks I'm a half intelligent human being, and I have a duty as sort of a missionary and as Catholic to look out for evil. Of course, besides what Andrew and Tristan, how they choose to conduct or operate in the videos, I would have I think I would have noticed a sign of human trafficking. I would have reported it, even though I mentioned I have a lot of like respect for the experience that Andrew and Tristan have. If there was some sort of human trafficking, I would have reported it to like YouTube or Rumble right away. But yeah, there's no human trafficking or really any sort of abusing or anything really out of pocket. People could say, where's some laws broken, like speeding laws, cops. I know so many cops out there. As I mentioned before, there's cops that are, stalking and sort of watching me almost every day. There's cops that like watch me on their breaks. There's cops that watch me when they get home. There's a lot of cops constantly watching me. And that already is a breach in privacy. So I just mentioned one law that cops break. So just in general, there's cops, authority, a lot of people that, even besides the cops, like women out there, there's so many women out there, so many people out there that breach privacy and break the laws in ways that some people couldn't imagine. I'll just leave it at that for now. In ways that some people couldn't imagine. So I think yeah, that's sort of like basically my take after watching all of Andrew's and Tristan videos. I would have reported something if I saw something bad. If I saw something that was life threatening or saw something extremely evil, I would have been like the first one to report it, or like one of the first ones, because I haven't been consuming anything too much recently. But I haven't seen anything out of pocket. I haven't seen anything extremely out of pocket. But a lot of solid advice, a lot of really solid advice on how to talk to women. So for anyone watching interested in how to talk to women, I would definitely check out some of their content. You see some of their a lot of Andrew and Tristan sort of like personality and passion come out, and depending on your morals, I think regardless of someone else's morals, it's not what you take in, like Jesus said, that corrupts you. It's what comes out of you. So you can always take anyone's advice. You can always take it in, but what you choose to do with that advice, it's up to you, just like Jesus said. So it's a good way not to make excuses for yourself or blame other people. Oh, that person corrupted me, which, it can be the case. Some souls are weaker than others, so they get easily corrupted. But I think, what Andrew and Tristan say, their intention is to help people, and the information that other people take in from them, it's what they do with the information that God will judge us by. That's like something. Oh, man, I keep saying Corinthians, but maybe. Yeah, that's the Gospels. That's in the Gospel. The Gospel of Luke, the Gospel of John. And yeah, before I was actually a Catholic, I was actually a Protestant before, and I really got inspired from like a lot of Andrew's and Tristan's business idea. And one business idea in particular that caught my interest was sort of the webcam ministry. And I'll break down the webcam ministry just so people don't get it confused with human trafficking. It's basically just, the ideal webcam industry is getting a bunch of your girlfriends or girls that are sort of have some sort of love and trust or respect for you, to sort of really access your talents to really commercialize on the webcamming sites. So there's like, I watched the Tate brothers, Andrew and Tristan, actually shared videos on how to like successfully start get yourself into the webcam industry. And basically the gist of it is the media spins it like you romance a girl, that's like a negative. It's a way to put it. It's not necessarily accurate, because it's too negative. It's too negative. It's disgraceful to the truth. So the truth of the matter is, like, you find a girl, or maybe you get a girl that you already know, and you sort of suggest to her this idea, like, hey, we could together. There's just usually a split of money. We could make like a lot of money, maybe like 10-20K a month. I forgot the numbers and how much one lady could make. Maybe we could make 10-20K a month, and that's enough to make a living. That's enough to take care of a family. And Andrew himself mentioned that there was like there was people like calling his the woman he was working with on webcam, like, very terrible names, sluts, whores, the usual slander. But in reality, not in reality, it's just everyone in life does certain things to make a living. In other countries, it's very hard to make a living. It's very hard to make money to support your family. Maybe you have an older father that's sick, or maybe you have a mother that's sick. Having 20K a month, 10K a month can drastically change your lifestyle. Drastically change your lifestyle. I myself with just like a fraction of that income, I am so happy. I can really if I had that much income, like which I'll get into later, it'd be like a drastic lifestyle change. Like my father, who was in the hospital recently, which I don't think my father needed to go to the hospital, but let's go say one of my family members, besides my father, maybe my mother or my sister, needed to go to the hospital. We could easily cover like a month's stay or 2 months stay at the hospital with 20K. With like 20K a month is it's very comfortable to do. So really having access to the best doctors and everything with that amount of money was very appealing to me. And this was back in like 2023, 2024, and at the time I didn't have as many like lady friends or girl friends, but I had sort of the heart or desire back in like 2023, 2024 to really get into the webcam industry. So yeah, definitely back in the day for me, I spent a decent chunk of my time really scouting for talent, scouting for women to maybe get myself into the webcam industry. I think what mostly dissuaded me, and what still dissuades me to this day, is actually not my morals, but generally my apathy towards with all due respect, a lot of women I didn't have the heart to pursue most women. There was some women I could, and maybe I was one of those maybe back then I was one of those business guys that had to have a pretty looking logo to start a business. Maybe I was one of those guys that had to have the prettiest girl to get myself into the webcam industry. But I was in Harrisburg, so I didn't have the to find like a hot, like a very beautiful lady was kind of difficult. It was kind of difficult in Harrisburg. Maybe there was actually some women very pretty enough to like I think to succeed in the webcam industry, but my heart was sort of my heart was a little bit over the place, but mostly my apathy. I was just really didn't have the heart to really pursue the woman. I think that was it. The industry, I think the money was always good, but even to this day, I'm still not too sure what I would do with the money. I do know one thing I would do with the money. I do know one thing that I would do with the money, but after that, I'm not too sure what would happen after that happens. I'm not too sure what would happen, but after 2024, after I left Harrisburg, after I finished college, that's a different story of how I ended college. But I still did a lot of I sort of, back when I came home, I had sort of the sort of like the knowledge and the experience from university, just sort of to understand like how women work and how women operate. So I still to this day I get a decent amount of traction when I go out. I think if I wanted to maybe pursue something, it's not like I probably could, but I probably could do it very often throughout the day. But I guess back to the timeline, like 2025, I was still interested. I was like going to checking out Hooters, really looking to find some of the best talent out there, and yeah, there's like a lot of so many great talents out there, very amazing, kind-hearted people that I'm sure are unhappy with their wages or find that their wages are very meager and can't do too well. But since 2025, to be if I'm being honest, I sort of took a break from sort of scouting and very seriously scouting, like driving to like just Hooters and driving to different places looking for the top talent out there. But that was sort of the direction that Andrew and Tristan sort of inspired me to do. And is it a bad thing? Well, one of the reasons I was really inspired was because I sort of had sort of the just sort of the knack or understanding for like what a woman desires out of a relationship, and just sort of when you understand that, it's a lot easier to attract women. So I had a not too bad time like getting women into my sort of like my getting women into like a very to what's I don't know what the word for it is, but I had a very comfortable time, just sort of like I can't think of the word for now, but you know, I was very comfortable pursuing the industry. It didn't seem anything too out of it didn't seem too hard to gather all the women. It didn't seem too hard to like set up an account or to use the website to start the webcamming. It didn't really seem too hard. So just the logistics of it, everything seemed to work out. What ended up being the hardest part for me was really finding the woman, which I guess, you know, just to talk about the Tate brothers again. That's something that I really look at them and I see a big from a business acumen standpoint, like the heart they had to really pursue the industry, to really not the industry, but to pursue the woman. That's something that's something that really, what is it, cradles my thigh. I don't know why I can't say that. Something like that. Just it cradles my thigh. I just pulled together some random gibberish, but yeah, that cradles my thought. That's some random gibberish, but yeah. As of now, I haven't ruled out the idea of sort of going into the webcam industry because of certain reasons. A lot of it moral reasons now, but certain reasons I think there's a lot. I think there's a small, like, besides the money, there's some advantages here and there, and it doesn't have to be completely immoral. There could be some ethical things about it. So yeah, fast forward to today, we have sort of my situation is you know, it's pretty normal now. I have like a normal job. I had a normal job. I've always had like a regular person job, and nothing too out of the ordinary. But that's sort of my my experience and sort of just sort of you know, what I've been through at the current moment. If anything changes in the future, which of course I don't know why I'm talking about this. Of course, something's going to change in the future, whether it be very big or small. That's something that I'll find out. But yeah, I think that's just sort of my story and how my story really was inspired a lot from the from Andrew and Tristan, and the media wants to make. I think if the media wants to demonize anyone, like I said, I think at the start, I think the best way to go about that, like wisdom from Jesus, if someone is treating you very poorly, the best thing to do is to turn the other cheek. And turning the other cheek, it's very interesting. It's when you turn the other cheek, it's sort of like it's an act of defiance in a way. It's like you're allowing yourself to be treated poorly, but at the same time, when you turn the other cheek, notice that our body is still standing still. We're still maintaining our position. So I think some wisdom in that is that if trying to push back against something like against YouTube that's pushing out a lot of bias, I think we have done it with Truth Social and X a little bit, but to let evil blow itself out of proportion, which it happens so often. Like there's always, like with the cops, or which is any person, like any person that has poor character, or that's maybe a weaker soul, someone that gets like easily offended. That's one characteristic of someone that has a weaker soul. Some people just blow things way out of proportion, way out of proportion, and they don't know when to stop. So I think if the Matrix or if YouTube wants to blow the situation out of proportion, I think it's a really good idea just to keep giving the Matrix fuel, and eventually I think it's going to implode on itself. It's going to be so. It happens the most. It happens if you have really solid character. I think you've experienced this. Some people will push you, and it's not like you break. It's like they blow things out of proportion. They blow things out of proportion, and it's not like they end up shooting themselves in the foot. It's like they give too much attention to the situation, and after that it's over. Sometimes when you give, I think a lot of times it happens like sometimes in life you give, just by giving a situation too much attention, it's just game over. You just lose in the long term, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. I think just by giving certain things too much attention, it's just an automatic loss, no matter whatever gains the other person gets. Just I think that's how powerful our attention is. And this is just a little bit of story about myself and Andrew and Tristan, which are the Tate brothers, and how they've sort of affected and steered my life. There's many parts that I left out because I can't share too much due to myself sort of being under surveillance. But it's sort of my story. If anyone out there sees anything wrong or offensive, I hope they don't get too offended. I hope they don't get too dissuaded from the gospel or the light of the truth. The light of Jesus is still the only light that will save all of us. But I do think that it is very unfair what is happening to the Tate brothers, and there's lots of other webcamming guys and gals out there. A lot of guys. There's a lot of people in the pornography industry that we could be going after, that could be standing up for Andrew and Tristan. There's a lot of adult actresses that a lot of guys and gals, like throw myself out there in the past, like a lot of names that people know that are probably infamous, that we could be going after. Maybe people who've like there's so many people that could be there's so many people like I think in the pornography industry that I think if everyone really stood up for Andrew and Tristan, it'd be a lot better. just more people just caught the flack that way, because it is an industry that people normalize. Like, there's cops watching. Well, I don't want to make this video too lengthy, but there's so much. There's a lot of just a lot of work that can be done to really help fight the injustice. And if this video was informative or helpful, please leave a like, share the video, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed.